Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm here with my Spongebob wife, Laura.
I'm here with my bikini bottom husband, Nathan.
And we're here for Monopoly. The game of life.
Specifically the Spongebob Squarepants edition.
Yes, I am quite a fan of SpongeBob. I remember studying in uni and TAFE and staying up and watching Foxtel and watching SpongeBob until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So...
I don't have that experience. I had never watched SpongeBob until I met Nathan, so...
And now you can't get enough of it.
Oh, woo! But I do like the game of life. So we're going to look at mainly the differences between the SpongeBob game of life and the regular
Of which there actually is quite a few.
Yeah, this one's different from a lot of the other themed game of lives in they actually have changed the gameplay a bit, which I suspect is for a younger audience.
Yes, a lot of the changes are made, I suppose, to simplify or streamline it so it's not quite as complex as...
Yes. You can just see from the pieces, these look a lot different to the normal, minivan sort of vehicles.
And you can't put children pegs in them either.
No. Alright, let's bust into the box, eh? Right. We'll just open the lid.
Bust a groove.
Okay.
So here we have the manual. I assume we're going to have a scan at the bottom like we always do.
Yes.
It's the manual.
Yeah, and it is quite vital. Otherwise, you'd be trying to play this like the normal game of life if you found it without the instructions.
And it actually doesn't play
quite the same. Yeah. So the pieces obviously are one of the first things we notice are different.
Here we have Mr. Krabs, Spongebob, Squidly.
No, Squidward.
And Pink Star.
Come on, Nathan, you know them better than that.
They're actually quite nice pieces. Quality-wise, they're solid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like those.
We have Game of Life tokens, or life tokens. On the backs, they're pretty similar to any other game, but the underside has bubbles and the SpongeBob text, so it's a bit more themed.
It doesn't have any text on it, apart from just values.
Yeah, they normally have, won the lottery or invented something or whatever it may be you're getting the value of the card for.
And of course we have all our buildings and things, so we have our spinner, which is actually, it's probably hard to tell, but it's all textured inside like
coral?
Yeah, coral, and it's the sort of stones and rocks underneath.
And it actually says Bikini Bottom in the middle, which if you don't know is where SpongeBob lives.
Does he?
Well, there might be someone watching because they like the game of life and not know anything about SpongeBob.
That is true.
Let us know.
In terms of the layout of the board and the buildings, apart from the cosmetic sort of differences, it's fairly similar.
The same thing. You have your little ramps and things, and then we have some cool buildings whoa, might be a bit hard to focus on that. We have this one, which has the houses of
Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob.
Not in the order I was pointing at them there, though. Very cool.
We have the boat, Mrs. Puff's boating school, I believe.
And of course, the Krusty Krab.
Mr. Krabs' abode.
Yep, his anchor house.
I think it's just a generic building.
Is it?
I think so, unless it's the retirement house.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Let us know.
Could be the Shady Shoals.
And Le Chum Bucket.
That's cool. I like that one.
So, compared to a lot of other sets, the buildings are really big and you can definitely tell what they are.
Yes. We still have money though, but it is completely different looking. We've got the $100 notes with Patrick, lots of those as you can see there. And SpongeBob is on the $1,000 notes.
Now, if I do recall, I believe there are other denominations of money in other sets.
Yes, so this has its own unique dollar values.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's quite a neat little thing.
Alright, then we have all our different types of cards. So what do you have? You have the career?
I have the career, so how about we take...
Oh, and a few others.
And pets. So how about I just change the camera angle, the camera, so we can see. Alright, so we have lifeguard, driving school teacher, mail carrier, cashier, business owner, college. So just like the original Game of Life, to take one of the college jobs you need to actually go to college.
The different part of that though is that you don't actually take a loan at the start of this game. You just go down that path.
It just takes a little longer. So there are actually no loans at all in the game.
Yeah, no loans. You cannot go into debt. So if you do run out of money in this version, you can still keep going. You obviously just can't buy anything
No.
or pay for anything. You do not go into negative money. You just wait and hope you make some back.
Pretty much.
Otherwise, you're probably not going to win the game.
Yeah, so, and I'll go through the pets. Pets,
Yes.
they work, I'll let Laura explain it.
So there's no marriage in this game. Obviously, SpongeBob, you know, is not going to be getting married anytime soon.
Little odd.
So there's pets instead. They have really no function in the game aside from to replace marriage. Yeah.
So there you go, they're all the pets you can get.
And the values that you have to pay for them. I've got the rest of the cards, but you can take those if you like.
So-
Ooh, blurry, sorry.
Home cards, so basically you don't own a house, you rent it.
Yes.
So
Well, house is a bit of a loose
Yeah.
term, I think, here.
So when you land on, I think it's a specific space,
It's the stop by a house space,
Yeah,
or a home in this one.
and you can land on spaces to pay rent.
Yeah, which is a pineapple,
Yes.
fittingly.
So then you pay the rent, which is whatever
The amount is,
Yeah.
instead of just buying your house outright.
So I mean, this is a game where if you really like SpongeBob when you're younger, you'll play just because you want to get your favourite locations.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually probably win, you really want probably the cheapest sort of house because
You don't want to be landing on those pineapple spaces and paying for, you know,
No.
too much rent.
what else have we got?
We then have our expense cards. Also, I should say, when you're picking out a house, you get 2 options. Some of the Game of Lives, you get
So
3
3.
cards. Yeah, but this one is 2 for everything, for the houses and careers and all of those.
Hole in your jellyfish. So these basically function if you've played Payday. These function similar to Payday, so you get a bill or expense in this case, and you pay it.
You pay it, yeah.
It's just a debt or a bill.
Yeah, well, it's not a debt. Yes, you can't go into debt. You have to pay it straight away when you pick it up.
Alright. Okay.
So that's something that isn't in a lot of the Game
Go
of
on
Life.
strike with Squidward. So these are all actually from episode shots, I
Yeah.
believe. So,
They've definitely taken the time here to tailor it, which is nice.
which is very much like The Simpsons, which I don't think is that going to be up yet by the time we film this? I don't know.
I'm not sure. We have a Simpsons Game of Life. I think we'll be up before this one.
So, I mean, they both do a really good job, I think, of their respective franchises.
Definitely. And then when you're done with your expense cards, you need to get a life, Nathan.
Oh, damn.
A life card.
Beautiful.
There you go. You want to take a look at those? So these effectively just help the game along. So in most of the Game of Life games, things that are happening to you are more on the board, whereas this one, they've gone more card-based.
Which, the Wizard of Oz Game of Life, I think, does a similar thing.
Yeah, a couple of them do, but it's less common.
So these are all things that basically happen in the episodes, you know, Pretty Patties and Protect the Secret, Erase Doodle Bob.
And as you can see, you get life tiles for having these events happen to you. Which obviously you want because they add to your value at the end of the game.
Which
is one in the same way as the other games.
And the raffle-
the normal one.
So the raffle cards, there's a raffle space, I believe. Mm-hmm. When you land on it, it's $100 to... Is it 100?
Enter the raffle.
It's 100 or 1,000?
100.
100. And basically you spin the spinner, and if it lands on any of the numbers on the card, you win.
Yeah. You don't have to enter the raffle either. Totally up to you. Obviously it depends on how much money you have, and if you are broke. You got no money, you can't
I mean,
enter.
$100 is quite meagre.
You have to be having a bad game.
Yes.
to not have $100, I think. Alright, do you want to pull the board out? And we have a regular
Alright, so let's
tray
just
for the
grab
money and
these
things.
out.
So while Nathan's getting that out, a couple of other points that you'll see on the board. We'll have a look at the different spaces. I think you've talked about a lot of the things that aren't like board related, if that makes sense.
Aren't board related.
Oh, so with the life tokens, unlike other Game of Life versions, there's none of these when you retire. So you don't, you're not racing to win those or anything like that. If you do run out of life tokens for the game, like in the draw pile, people need to start trading them back into, I guess, the bank for $100 each without looking at them, and then they go back into the draw pile and can be redrawn. So that's an interesting little feature. Normally you snatch them from someone else.
You're stealing at the end if you've retired.
Yes, alright, this board is huge, which is why it's taking Nathan a little while.
Is this bigger than a regular Game of Life?
No, they're all pretty big. So where is our start? Hang on, let's...
So big.
Alright. Here is where we would start.
So obviously college is a little longer, but there's more chances for life tokens and career. You stop and
pick a career. Yeah. Those purple spaces are just spin again, so...
It keeps the game flowing a lot quicker in this one, I think, than it would in a regular one.
Again, being aimed more, I imagine, at children. This is obviously where one of our little ramps would go. And, might need a bit of help with that.
There we have the stop, adopt a pet, which is just at the top.
Whoop. And we also have the change job space. There's actually quite a lot of those on this board. And they act like the new career spaces in the normal game, which are optional.
Yes, so usually the optional space is the blue.
Yeah, so different colour for this. And obviously, if you've got a low salary, you're going to want to change. So we go... and again.
So
I'm trying to take you around like the right way up, but it's just enormous. So you might have to look sideways. There's the
pineapple rent space.
Yep. There's our raffle spaces.
Not really much else to say. It's a very streamlined version. It's really cool and all, but if you get down to the guts of it...
It's nice artwork though.
Yeah.
So I do quite like that. And then... Oh, I've just dropped some things off the side of the table. Help, Nathan, help. So
retirement works
yes,
a little
that's where I'm trying to get to. The Shady Shoals Rest Home. So that must be the other building that you had before. Yes. I'm just going to pick up what I dropped. Well, you explain Shady Shoals Retirement.
So in most traditional Game of Life games, when you get to the end, you have a choice to retire at like Millionaire's Acres, I think, or...
Millionaire Estate, maybe?
And whatever retirement home it is. And depending on which one you retire at, you can either lock in and keep your life tokens or life tiles safe, or you can get an extra 2, I think, or 3, depending on the version, and risk having them stolen.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, there's no life tokens at the end of this version. When you retire, you have only one place to go, and you actually get to pick a raffle card.
And then you participate.
If you spin a 10 when you retire. So it's actually pretty tricky to get that.
So pretty much just, you get to the end, and then the game, obviously once the other person reaches there, and then you just total up how much money you've got.
Yeah, same as in the other version. So, there goes something else. Woo! I think this is a pretty neat little version if you are a Spongebob fan. But it is simplified. So as an adult, if you really like the Game of Life, maybe not for you. But I think it's definitely good for younger players.
The Simpsons one doesn't mess with the formula as much.
But
it's also aimed at an older audience. So
yeah.
Look, if you can still find this, which I imagine is going to be sort of eBay and op shops and things like that, and you're a fan of SpongeBob, it's a really nice set.
Yeah, I agree. And I really like all the pieces for it, like the buildings and everything, which none of which you can see here, but we did show them.
We did.
If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know down below which is your favourite version of Game of Life, if you've got one, or do you just like the regular version? I mean, I like them all.
And do you own all the SpongeBob on DVD like I do?
Oh dear. Press that subscribe button.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.